When my daughter hit 12, she started a new school and got involved with the cool girls, all the girls with the pretty long hair and the nice clothes. And I fell off the pedestal almost overnight. So Lexi and I went from being arm in arm to suddenly me going to the school gym to watch her play volleyball. And I see her across the room and I look at her and I say, "Hey, Lexi, hi." And she looked at me and she ignored me completely. And I thought, wow, I guess she didn't hear me. So I yelled at her, "Lexi!" And she was so upset with me, she wouldn't walk home with me after school. I had to walk home by myself. Suddenly, I became chopped liver. Suddenly, she couldn't stand the sound of my voice, which was really hard. I tried to talk differently, but that didn't work. And that was tough for me because I'm the counselor who just wants to talk things through and it's not a big deal. But if I started talking, she'd go, "Ew, ew." When they go through this stage, they start to criticize you. They criticize your appearance. They don't want to tell you things that are going on in their life because they want privacy, so they don't let you in. They start shutting you out because their need for autonomy is huge. And so, you know, I remember leaving the house one day, and like, you've really got to have your self-esteem in check when you've got a kid going through this stage. Lexi says to me, and it came in, you know, there were times where she was sweet and lovely and other times where this prickly behavior would come out. But she said to me, "Mom, are you going out wearing those big-ass jeans?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'm going out wearing these big-ass jeans." And, you know, I stayed at her place in San Francisco last year, and I looked at her and I said, "Lexi, you're wearing big-ass jeans," because they're in style now. I said, "Where did you get those?" She said, "Oh, Value Village." "In Victoria?" "Yeah." "Those are my big-ass jeans you're wearing right now. I know they are." So for a while there was a lot of criticism and prickliness. And often this behavior comes on when they're experiencing new friends. You know, when they start getting the friendships going, they don't know how to gracefully individuate and form relationships with their peers and still have a relationship with you. You know, it's very tough for them to figure out how to do that. But when they hit about 11, 12 developmentally, what they need in their teen years is to be able to figure out who they are aside from who they are in their family. And that's why they will start to reject you and the siblings, and they will cut themselves off, and they won't want to go on family outings and, you know, that kind of thing. I was cool a few times when Lexi went through her teen years, and you know, she did talk to me, and we did go through close times, and then there were times where she needed to pull away, and it was kind of like a dance. But I remember when she was 12, I had the situation where I was downstairs in the basement, and I was fixing this photocopier of mine. It was this really old photocopier, and I got so frustrated that I yelled at it and called it a bastard. I just went, "Oh, you bastard, you know, another paper jam." And I didn't realize that Lexi was in the backyard with her friends. And so Lexi comes downstairs and she said, "Mom, did you just say bastard?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." She said, "All my friends heard you." And I said, "I am so sorry." You know, I probably learned it from her. But anyway, "I'm so sorry." I said, "Should I go out and apologize?" Or she said, "No, that was super cool. Could you just come out and swear a little bit more?" You know, and the big thing when your kids go through this behavior, when they don't want to be seen walking into the schoolyard with you, or when they become critical of you, or when they push you away, or when they can be prickly because they're so egocentric that they don't understand how their behavior affects you. I mean, they are allergic to your needs, like it or not. That's just part of childhood. The biggest piece to this is what? What do you think for you as a parent? Not taking it personally. You know, really watching that you put it in its place. And if you've got a big rejection button, you know, from childhood or whatever that might be, or if you think that kids should just toe the line, damn it, and listen to you, it's not going to be an easy transition. See it for what it is. Don't interpret that this is a kid who's got a behavioral issue. You know, they'll refuse help. And the little kids, you know, just when you got the morning thing figured out, suddenly they decide they want to get ready themselves and tie up their own shoelaces. And it's the one morning where you really need to be at work on time. Let's take a look at another skit on that.
Oh, Deidre, please put on your dress. I don't want to wear a dress. I want to wear my pants. But we've already discussed this. We're going to a nice restaurant. No, I don't want to. Well then you can't come. And I'll tell Sarah to just go without you. I don't want to wear a dress. Oh, please, please. Can't you just wear this dress just this once? Why does it always have to be a fight with you? Because I want to wear pants. Well, then that's it. You've got 2 minutes to get this dress on or we're not going. There, I have the dress on.
That was a skit on defiance. Notice what happened there. Well, you guys tell me, what did Mom do? Like, what happened there? Sorry?
Empty threats.
Empty threats. So she threatened that if she didn't get the dress on, she wouldn't be able to go. Idle threats are basically angry lies. And kids stop believing you because you're just huffing and puffing. And who knows what Mom actually did there? Because would it be fair for her not to go because she didn't wear the dress? Would it be fair to Sarah? Probably not. What else happened there with Mom? She was pleading. She was pleading that her daughter just behave and do as she asks. We don't want to put ourselves in that position. And if you sweat the small stuff, you end up pleading over things that you may not have that much control over. And when your kid is going through this struggle for independence, their autonomy is way more important than pleasing you. And so this is where you really want to think about, what am I going to go into battle over? And what does my kid's need right now? She needed to be in charge of herself. She needed to have that sense of autonomy. You know, and Mom may need to relook how much control she thinks she can actually exercise with her daughter. But what happened there is Mom lost a lot of power because she went into a battle that wasn't important or necessary. Does that make sense? Yeah.